break.
All right. I want to get your thoughts on the weekend. And if you haven't done anything of significance and people are waiting, like Kyle Dubas here in Toronto, how much pressure would he feel right now?
Well, you know what? I guess you wonder what he's looking for, because I'm looking at price points, and I'd be, if you're looking to hit, to bring in a frontline guy, you're being hit with some pretty high prices. I just looked at the deal Chicago to Tampa Bay with 2 first-round picks and a couple of prospects. I mean, that is a huge price. I mean, I like that. People like the Hagel kid, but for me, prices are high right now and limited quality guys available unless you're looking at a Drew, and I don't see the Leafs. I hear they talked about him, but I can't believe they're in on Claude Giroux. So I would be nervous of the price points right now, and obviously maybe Kyle's waiting for them to fall a little bit.
Doug, what do you think about the idea of how all-in teams can go? Because right now you see what Tampa's doing, and they are all in, right? It's kind of like they've won their cups. They know this is their window. They're going to be bad for a while based on everything they're selling. Is it okay for the Leafs to do something like that where they burn first-round picks and say, we are all in? Because, we hear the verbal commitment that it's all in, but really only Tampa seems to be speaking that way with their actions as well.
Interesting. I talked to 2 assistant GMs this week who are contenders, real serious contenders. And both of them said to me, when is the ideal time to go all in? We're sitting there and we're serious contenders, but it's really kind of nerve-wracking to make that step to go all in. Would have been in that boat a few years ago, and he made the commitment to go all in on, the Coleman situation, the Goodrow situation, the Bogosian. I mean, he made a commitment to go all in, and there's no coming back now. There's no coming back. I look at Vegas; they've gone all in, and where has that put them today with given up at least 4 first-round picks? They've only been in the league 5 years, and they've given up 4 first. That's a team that's gone all in and is sitting on the outside looking in for the playoffs right now. So you got to know when the right time is, and it's a gut check time for GMs, because when you pull the plug on first-round picks, it can come back to really, really bite you.
All in for Tampa Bay, all out for Chicago. And I look at this trade, Mac, and there's every reason in the world for Hagel to stick around. He's 23. There's a tremendous amount of upside. But Chicago's looking at it going, he was a mid-pick, I think, 6th round.
Yeah. Sixth round. Yeah, that's
right.
Sixth round to Buffalo.
And then signed as a free agent, correct? So,
right.
And then you squeeze everything you can out of him, and you turn a mid-pick into 2 first-rounders. Like, historically, I don't think we've seen that too much. I look at Chicago, and for the fans, it's going to maybe be ugly the next few years, but this, to me, is a home run. Will we see more deals like this out of clubs?
It's a home run, except you're a bad team right now in Chicago. They're used to supporting a champion, and this is a kid that's has a chance to be a 30-goal scorer, and you move him for 2 first-round picks that are 4 or 5 years away from playing. I mean, it's a home run if you're committing to a total rebuild. Well, if that's what you're doing, then you've got to be phoning Chicago right now saying, what do you want for Taves and Kane? Because it's obviously if you're trading Hagel for first, a kid that's close to a 30-goal scorer this year. Where are you headed here? Are you going to keep Kane and Taves now and let them wait out for these 2 first-round picks to mature in 4 years' time? I don't think so.
Right.
So it's a big, it's a funny type of deal for me. Really, it is a good price paid, but a funny deal for me for Chicago.
Yeah. Looking at Toronto here trying to plug their own holes, we were kicking around some different ideas earlier in the show, and Kyper brought up Matthew Nyes as a possibility, a college kid. Not all those guys come the same. Obviously, you get a wide range of talent levels and readiness. In your experience, what can NHL teams expect from college players who become eligible to go over and play?
Well, look, when a kid comes out of college, sometimes you get lucky. Maybe you end with a Marino that comes into Pittsburgh and does a pretty good job playing with some veteran guys. But this is a tough task to ask a kid to come in and be a key contributor for a team that's supposed to be a Stanley Cup contender. I don't think I'm looking at that as being a logical guy to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. I think you've got to look a lot further. You need some depth. Number one, you need some real defensemen. Number two, to be in your top four. I think that's frightening to me.
He couldn't get in on Hagel. It's obvious with the load that he got. But I only threw his name out there because there is a sense, and our executive Sammy Cosentino out there will back me up on this, is that there's a certain element of power in this guy's game that probably separates him from most college kids that get that opportunity with 20 games to go.
Who's the guy that went from Harvard to Nashville to New York to Buffalo to Vancouver?
Yeah, I know. I know.
What was his name? Jimmy Vasey? Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, you and Sammy float the boat on that one. Take your chances. Take your chances, big boy. I hope. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. I don't even know the kid. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've heard this same old song before.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know beggars can't be choosers, and right now he's got handcuffs on him. But he needs to go out and get another blue liner or maybe two. Is that where you would put your priorities?
Yeah, he does. 100%. I mean, we know, he's got the talent group up front, and hopefully that's gonna work for him this year in the playoffs. He's got to put it in the back end. He can't really do anything with his goaltending. He's stuck there, and now it's interesting. I watched the Swede. At least he stays on his feet this year. At least he stays on his feet. I was really excited to finally see a goalie that stays on his feet and doesn't burn himself out with all that BS sliding post to post and up and down. At least he stays on his feet, okay? So, you know what? He's got to go with the blue line. He's got no choice but to go with the blue line and try to find, one solid guy and maybe a depth guy.
Do you feel like John Tavares